Sports Gamer.
How's it going, Sports Gamers? Mike Strum, Managing Editor of Sports Gamers Online here with some news regarding the possible future of NASCAR video games. So, yesterday on Thursday, multiple sources reached out to me to tell me that NASCAR was actively looking for ways to get out of its agreement with Motorsports Games. Now, Motorsports Games has been the developer and publisher of the last couple NASCAR video games with their relaunch of the NASCAR series with NASCAR 21 Ignition back in October of 2020, utilizing the Unreal Engine. But the game, as you guys may or may not know, was released in a completely broken state. A lot of basic features, such as racing stages, which have been prominent for almost a decade now in NASCAR, weren't in the game at the start. NASCAR saw this. NASCAR saw the fumbles. NASCAR saw the game unplayable, and to the point quickly stopped promoting the game. One source flat out said that, quote, NASCAR isn't happy. There's a reason they don't even promote their own game on any broadcast or social channels. It's because they don't want to be associated with the game as broken as what NASCAR 21 is. Now, hearing that, you immediately go, wow, it's in a terrible state. How long is this going to last? Is NASCAR going to get out? That's where some problems may lie. NASCAR's agreement with Motorsports Games is up near the end of the decade. I want to believe it's around 2028 or 2029. I'm not 100% on the year, but that's kind of a long time. That's 6 or 7 years from now when the agreement is up. But NASCAR is working on a case to try and justify getting out of the deal. Now, with this, Motorsport Games can simply just point to the existing agreement that expires, like I said, in 2028 or 2029, if I understand correctly, and use the reasoning such as the transition to a brand new game engine for the problems with NASCAR 21 Ignition. NASCAR is going to have to present a lot more than that. So, how is NASCAR going to get out of this if they truly want to? They're going to have to present a total look at Motorsports Games and what's gone on. They're going to look at the response of NASCAR 21 Ignition, the finances and stability of Motorsports Games, and the questionable future of a company in MSG that is publicly traded. Speaking of the publicly traded part, October 20th, 2021, Motorsports Games was trading shares at $15.59 a share. While it's not their highest, it certainly wasn't terrible. Around that week is when those like myself and others in the media and reviewers started to get their hands on NASCAR 21 Ignition. Since then, shares and the price of the shares have plummeted. As of closing on April 14th, shares were trading at just $1.20 a share, a drop of 92%. And while that is alarming, no matter how you want to tilt it, it gets worse when you look at the company's recent fourth quarter call earnings. It was revealed during their call that despite the licenses currently held such as NASCAR, IndyCar, KartCraft, and things like that, Motorsports Games continues to lose millions of dollars. In 2021 alone, the company reported a total year loss of $33.16 million. After taking into account a few sources of income, such as stock-based revenue, that number did improve a bit, but the company still posted a year loss of $17.4 million. In the fourth quarter alone, the time window where NASCAR 21 Ignition was released, net losses sat at $7 million compared to the $3 million from that same time in 2020. And this is despite revenues being at $8.2 million for the fourth quarter of 2021 compared to $2.9 from 2020. So they made more money, technically, but then due to expenses and other losses, you don't see any of it. They lost it all. And the company, during this investor call, admitted that they have just $12 million currently cash on hand with a monthly cash burn of about $1.7 million a month. At its current state, Motorsports Games just doesn't have enough to stay afloat long term, meaning that it needs more investors to come in to help mitigate the losses and reduce the burn percentage. Even the company itself stated that there's doubt in its future without extra funding, which could give NASCAR some leverage here in order to end the agreement early. Motorsports Games CEO Dmitry Kozko, during the earnings call, stated, quote, "While our 2021 Form 10-K indicates a doubt about our ability to continue as a growing concern, we are currently evaluating new sources of funding." That's all well and good, but then Chief Financial Officer John New threw gasoline on that fire when he stated that there would be no forward guidance. Now, if you don't know what a forward guidance is, that's an estimate on the next quarter or next year revenue from a company that's usually provided during these earning calls. He said, quote, "We do not believe that our existing cash on hand will be sufficient to fund our operations for the next 12 months, which is why they weren't going to provide guidance for even the next quarter." So what does this mean overall about NASCAR video games and NASCAR 22? Well, sources close to the situation insist the development of NASCAR 22 is continuing as planned. The current plan is to release the next game in late summer, and that's what the development team is working towards. One person said that until the team is told there's no more game, they are working under the impression that things will continue as normal. Whereas another added, if it ends, it might take enough time to get there that there should still be at least one more NASCAR game under Motorsports Games. Now, SGO, we've reached out to both NASCAR and Motorsports Games on this situation and on these developments, but so far neither party has returned those requests. And to be fair, it kind of makes sense if there's litigation ongoing, because during these proceedings and any sort of litigation and lawsuits or anything like that, parties involved are pretty much told to keep quiet about it until things are settled and they're allowed to talk. So for now, it's kind of a wait and see on what actually happens. We know what's going on behind the scenes. The sources indicate that NASCAR has been trying to do this for quite a while, and things are just getting to that point where they don't trust what motorsports, they don't feel confident in what Motorsports Games can offer. So for now, this is where we stand. I want to know your comments. Let us know in the comment section below how you feel about this whole situation with NASCAR video games and Motorsports Games. If you're not already, be sure you're subscribed to Sports Gamers Online and turn on your notifications so you never miss any of our latest videos. And leave a like and share this video so it gets out to more who need to see it. And take the discussion further by joining the official SGO Discord at sportsgamersonline.com/discord. And for the latest up-to-date news on all things NASCAR and sports video games, be sure to visit our website at sportsgamersonline.com.